In the deserts of the American Southwest, colossal cliffs rise against an endless sky. Carved into these walls of stone are silent cities, abandoned long ago. Towers, homes, and kivas, circular ceremonial chambers, all lie empty as though the people vanished in a single night. These were the Anasazi, or as they called themselves, the Ancestral Puebloans. Once a thriving civilization, now a mystery whispered by the wind. The Anasazi lived across what is now Arizona, New Mexico, Colorado, and Utah. For centuries, they built complex societies, farming corn, beans, and squash in the harsh desert. Their skill as architects was unmatched. Entire cities of stone rose against the cliffs, linked by roads stretching across the desert. They were astronomers, farmers, artisans, and priests. But more than all, they were survivors in a land of extremes. Among their masterpieces was Chaco Canyon. Between 850 and 1250 AD, it became a hub of Anasazi life, with multi-story buildings, some containing hundreds of rooms. At Mesa Verde, they carved dwellings directly into the cliffs, hidden like fortresses above the valleys. Looking at them today, it is hard to believe such precision, such scale, belonged to a people without metal tools or beasts of burden. These stone cities were alive with chants, trade, and ritual, until suddenly they were not. By the late 1200s, the Anasazi disappeared from their cliff palaces and desert hubs. Entire regions were abandoned. Pottery was left behind, tools scattered, kivas sealed. No written records tell us why. To later tribes, they became the Ancient Ones, a people who vanished, leaving only silence carved in stone. Theories abound: drought, war, famine, or something more mysterious. What force could drive a civilization from its home? The land itself offers clues. Studies of tree rings show a period of intense drought struck the Southwest around the late 1200s. Crops withered, rivers dried, and the desert tightened its grip. For a people so dependent on agriculture, such hardship may have been devastating. Yet drought alone does not explain the suddenness, the completeness of their departure. Something more must have haunted them. Archaeological evidence reveals another story, one of conflict. Skeletons with signs of violence, burned structures, and defensive cliff dwellings suggest the Anasazi faced not only nature, but war. Some believe rival tribes attacked, fighting over scarce resources. Others whisper of civil strife within the Anasazi world itself. What once was unity may have splintered into chaos, driving them to abandon their sacred cities. In some sites, archaeologists discovered kivas deliberately sealed, as though in a final act of closure. Pottery was smashed in ritual fashion, offerings left behind. To some, this suggests the Anasazi did not merely vanish, but transformed, migrating under spiritual command, guided by prophecies. The Hopi, descendants of the Anasazi, speak of journeys across the desert guided by the gods, searching for balance with the earth. Perhaps disappearance was not an end, but a passage. Stretching across the desert are strange, straight roads carved into the earth, connecting Chaco Canyon with distant settlements. They run for miles, sometimes into nothingness. To archaeologists, they may have been trade routes. To mystics, they were spiritual pathways, lines guiding the Anasazi toward another destiny. Did these roads lead them away from their homeland into new horizons where they would live on under other names? For the Hopi, Zuni, and Pueblo peoples of today, the Anasazi are not lost but alive within them. Their dances, ceremonies, and stories echo the voices of their ancestors. They tell of migrations, of following the sun and stars until they found new homes. To them, the mystery of disappearance is not tragedy, but transformation. The Anasazi walked into legend, carrying their spirit into the present. Of course, where history leaves silence, imagination grows. Some fringe theories suggest alien contact, cosmic shifts, or hidden underground migrations. To skeptics, these are fantasies, but their persistence reflects the aura of mystery around the Anasazi. Their great stone cities, empty and echoing, feel like portals, doorways into otherworldly tales where reality and myth blur. In truth, the Anasazi never truly disappeared. They changed, adapted, and endured through their descendants. But the ruins remain, haunting monuments of silence. To stand in Chaco Canyon or Mesa Verde is to feel the weight of time, to hear voices in the wind, to sense that the ancient ones still watch from the cliffs. Their story is both history and legend, a reminder of how fragile civilizations can be. The Anasazi's disappearance remains one of America's greatest mysteries. Was it drought, war, prophecy, or something beyond our understanding? Perhaps the truth lies in all these things. What endures is the lesson that no empire, no city, no people is beyond the reach of change. The Anasazi remind us that even the mightiest can vanish into silence, leaving only whispers carved in stone, and the eternal question, why?